Welcome to Cosmic Eternity Channel. Today's message isn't meant for everyone, it's for those who have begun to feel the quiet pull of awakening. There comes a moment when you realize that not every open door deserves your entrance, and not every passing wind should be allowed through your windows. This is the sacred art of guarding your inner space, of understanding that your spirit's sanctuary must be protected if you are to live in alignment with your true essence. What seems like isolation is, in truth, an act of deep awareness. When we speak of closing doors and windows, we're not referring to physical spaces, locks, or walls. We're talking about the unseen boundaries of the soul, those subtle lines that separate what belongs to you from what belongs to the world. They are the filters of energy that determine what reaches your inner garden. The strength of the chosen ones lies precisely in their ability to maintain these boundaries, even when the world demands their constant openness. Think of how many times you've allowed the world to enter uninvited. How often have you absorbed chaos, confusion, or sadness simply because you didn't know how to say no? To protect yourself doesn't mean to withdraw from life or people. It means to guard the sacred flame that burns within you. Your energy is your temple, and not every visitor is worthy of crossing its threshold. This realization marks the beginning of your transformation. The doors of your soul represent every agreement you make, every yes you offer. With each acceptance, you grant permission for energy to travel into the heart of your being. Some of these energies bring growth, healing, and inspiration. Others, however, bring disturbance, fatigue, and doubt. Learning to distinguish between the two is what separates the awakened from the unaware. The windows, in turn, symbolize what you choose to reveal. They are the ways in which the world perceives your inner landscape, your thoughts, emotions, and creative expressions. But when those windows are left wide open, too much of your strength seeps out. The chosen ones understand that not everything needs to be shared. Some truths, some dreams, bloom best in silence. Closing a window isn't an act of secrecy, it's an act of protection. It means keeping the tender parts of your growth safe from the judgment of premature eyes. Wisdom teaches that everything sacred requires incubation. What is genuine doesn't rush to be seen. It simply waits for the right season to emerge in full light. Every day, we live among symbols, doors, and windows that reflect the movement of energy within and around us. Those who are truly awake see discernment as a spiritual practice, a silent form of prayer. Every boundary you draw is a declaration of self-respect, a statement that your inner world deserves care. And when these lines are honored, life begins to align itself naturally with your higher purpose. To be chosen is not about status, it's about surrendering to a calling that whispers rather than shouts. It speaks softly, asking for silence so it can be heard. And once you finally listen, you realize that your path is not meant to be walked in all directions. To be set apart is to move intentionally, leaving behind what no longer serves your evolution. Separation, then, is not arrogance, it's awareness. It's knowing the worth of your energy and the sacredness of your time. The more you try to hold on to everything, the more your spirit slips through your fingers. The awakened one learns to simplify, to let go, and to focus only on what nourishes his divine mission. This daily choice creates clarity and strength. Life for the chosen becomes like a living house. Each room represents an aspect of existence: the body, the mind, relationships, purpose, and faith. Each space requires care and order. Not everyone deserves to enter, and not every object deserves to stay. This spiritual organization is what preserves peace within the home of the soul. Over time, you begin to notice the subtle signals. Certain conversations feel heavy, certain opportunities distract more than they bless. You start to understand that silence is a shield and that saying no is an act of love. Your refusals become peaceful, without guilt or explanation. That gentle no becomes a guardian of your destiny. We live in an age of excess. Every sound, every screen, every demand competes for your attention. The chosen ones know that attention is sacred currency. It fuels everything you create. So they learn the art of stepping back, of choosing quiet over chaos. In that stillness, they rediscover connection, peace, and divine focus. There is also a wisdom in knowing where not to remain. Some places may glitter with beauty, yet they lack essence. When the chosen feel their spirit dim, they know it's time to walk away without resentment, without drama. Remaining where your soul must shrink is a quiet betrayal of self. True growth doesn't require applause. It thrives in authenticity and solitude. In my opinion, the message about closing our inner doors and windows carries a profound truth that many people overlook. We live in a time where openness is often confused with vulnerability and where constant exposure is mistaken for authenticity. But I believe that real strength comes from knowing when to guard your inner world. Not everything deserves access to our thoughts, our emotions, or our energy. To me, learning to protect one's essence is an act of deep self-respect. It's not about isolating ourselves from others, but about recognizing that our peace, our focus, and our light must be preserved if we want to live with purpose. The chosen ones, as the message describes, are not superior, they are simply aware. They understand that silence can be sacred and that discernment is a form of spiritual maturity. I truly resonate with the idea that saying no can be a form of love. It's a way of telling the world that your energy is not up for negotiation. We all have a mission, and not every distraction deserves our attention. Closing certain doors doesn't mean we are closing our hearts. It means we are creating space for what truly matters to enter. Ultimately, I see this teaching as a reminder that life is not about constant exposure, but about conscious presence. Protecting what's sacred within us allows our spirit to grow in its own rhythm, free from external noise. It's in that quiet, guarded space that true clarity and divine connection are found. The world moves at a relentless pace, yet the soul follows its own sacred rhythm. Those who walk the path of awareness learn to move in harmony with that quieter music within. They understand that rushing weakens precision and that divine timing is something to be sensed, not controlled. For that reason, they build small daily rituals, moments of stillness with a cup of coffee, a short prayer, or a breath before the day begins. Separation, too, has its wisdom. It's not always about cutting ties. Sometimes it's about redefining them. The awakened one learns to say, "I respect you, but I can't carry this right now." Such honesty unsettles those who still live to please, yet those who truly love understand. Mature love honors boundaries, it doesn't fear them. Eventually comes the inner call to release what no longer fits. Behaviors that once served may now hinder the next stage of growth. The chosen one looks inward and asks, "Why am I still feeding what weakens me?" This self-inquiry is liberating. It isn't about blame, it's about evolution. Old versions of ourselves must rest for the new to emerge. Separation also lives in the smallest gestures. It's in what you choose to read, who you choose to speak with, and what thoughts you allow to greet your mornings. Each micro-decision builds your destiny. The awakened know that the outer world mirrors the inner one, so they cleanse their thoughts, their speech, and their surroundings. They trade noise for purpose and speed for precision. But separation is not isolation. Isolation is rooted in fear. Separation is born of clarity. Those who isolate themselves run from life, while those who separate organize it. The awakened don't destroy bridges, they simply choose which ones to cross. They remain in the world, yet do not allow the world to consume them. That is the art of self-preservation. Exposure becomes another lesson. Showing too much of yourself is like opening your windows during a storm. The wise learn that maturity means knowing what to reveal and what to protect. They share when there's purpose, not from the hunger for attention. They speak to add meaning, not to fill silence. At the core of this journey lies the protection of essence. The world will always try to mold, confuse, and reshape, but the chosen keep their focus on the invisible, the eternal spark that cannot be stolen. Guarding it is the highest form of devotion. It's a daily practice of awareness, vigilance, and love. This protection is not selfishness, it's wisdom. It means choosing carefully where to place energy, focus, and time. It means walking away from what drains you, even when it appears tempting. It's knowing when to retreat and recharge your light. When the awakened protect their essence, they become unshakable, even in chaos. Self-care is part of that protection. The body is the dwelling of the soul, and rest is its silent form of prayer. The chosen respect their limits, nourish the mind with clarity, and feed the spirit with silence. They understand that exhaustion isn't proof of strength, it's a signal of imbalance. Taking care of oneself is an act of reverence toward one's purpose. The silence of the awakened holds immense power. It's not emptiness, it's focused presence. Within that silence, thoughts settle, wounds heal, and the inner voice becomes audible again. Silence becomes their fortress, their sanctuary. It's where faith is renewed and clarity blooms. Not everything needs to be spoken aloud. Some dreams fade when exposed too early. The wise protect their visions, letting them mature quietly in the dark. Silence becomes a shield against disbelief, a cradle where the invisible takes form. Silence also teaches restraint. The world provokes, challenges, and tempts the chosen to react. But they've learned that non-reaction is often the highest response. To ignore provocation is to preserve energy. Allowing time to speak in your place is a sign of mastery. Within every awakened being lies a secret garden, the birthplace of thought and intention. When that garden is tended with peace, everything in life blossoms. But when neglected, weeds of fear and doubt begin to grow. Thus, they cultivate their inner soil with kind words, sincere prayer, and long moments of deep stillness. Tending the inner world means choosing what to think, what to feel, and what to nurture. The awakened observe their emotions without becoming enslaved by them. They know that feeling is human, but staying stuck in pain is a choice. They learn to release what weighs them down and to keep what uplifts. The outer world constantly tests this balance. Its lights, promises, and distractions seek to steal attention. The chosen ones discern that not all that glitters holds truth. They observe without absorbing, listen without losing themselves, and remain centered amid the noise. This is the sacred art of staying grounded. Patience is another virtue of the awakened. While the world demands urgency, they understand the sacred rhythm of waiting. Waiting isn't inactivity, it's invisible preparation. Patience is the language of the wise. What is forced before its time withers under the sun. During that waiting, they refine themselves. They nurture body, mind, and spirit in silence. It's in this unseen labor that real strength is forged. When the moment finally arrives, they are ready not by luck, but by discipline and preparation. To be chosen is to live with awareness and intention. It is to safeguard energy, honor the soul, and focus on what truly matters. It's to walk through noise without becoming part of it, to be a steady presence in a distracted world. It's living in harmony with what is eternal. The refuge of the awakened isn't a place, it's a state of being. It's the inner sanctuary untouched by chaos, where peace and clarity reside. Within that sacred stillness they heal, reconnect, and rise again. From there, their doors and windows open only to what enlightens and close to what drains. And when they step out from that sanctuary, the world can feel it. Not because they make noise, but because their energy vibrates differently. Their calm presence transforms the atmosphere. Their quiet strength inspires others. The true power of the awakened is not loud or forceful, it's steady, grounded, and radiant. That's how they transform the world from the inside out. From my spiritual perspective, the message above reminds me that true evolution begins in silence, not in noise. I believe the soul's greatest strength lies in its ability to remain centered while the world rushes around it. Protecting one's energy, maintaining healthy boundaries, and embracing stillness are not acts of isolation, they are acts of alignment with the divine rhythm of life. To me, the journey of the chosen is not about superiority or detachment, but about awareness. It's about walking through the world with clarity, listening more deeply than speaking, and allowing intuition to guide every step. I've come to understand that spiritual growth is less about adding more and more about releasing what no longer belongs. This teaching reinforces my belief that peace is an inner construction built through patience, discernment, and trust in divine timing. When we honor the pace of the soul, everything external begins to align naturally. In the end, true power doesn't roar, it radiates quietly from within, transforming the world not through force, but through presence.